So here's our video about using the setup wizard in Finale. I think what most people get frustrated with Finale about is the time it takes, and one of the steps they skip is using the setup wizard. So we're going to create a new document, and we're going to choose the setup wizard, and it's going to open up another menu here for us. On the left we have some ensembles, on the right we have some document styles. We're going to worry about the ensembles, of which you have some of your basics. You have SATB and piano, some chamber ensembles, jazz band, concert band, string ensembles, and today we're going to do a concert band. So we'll select that and hit next. And then you can see here on the right hand side we have our instrumentation for the concert band. It may not match what we want right away, but that's okay. We can take away and add as we need by choosing from the left there. So the first thing we're going to do is go through and take the ones out we don't need for this project. So highlight it, hit remove, highlight the next one you want, hit remove. My ensemble doesn't have English horns or two bassoons or an E-flat clarinet. Nobody's ensemble has an alto clarinet. We'll take out contrabassoon and we'll just continue on down. Now you might be thinking already, this is pretty tedious, I don't want to have to do this every time. You don't have to. I'll show you as soon as we're done how you can avoid having to do this every single time, and it can almost be a one-touch startup process. In this case we only want one percussion part, but I do need to add a mallet part. So we go to the left, we'll choose pitch percussion from our family there, and select mallets, and because it's in score order for concert band, you'll see that it puts it right where it belongs. If you want to alter that, that's something else you can do, but for this project that's great. Now, since I don't want to have to go through that process again, I'll hit save as a new ensemble, and I'll just call it something different, and then it will always be there and I can select it. In this case we'll call it a small concert band. Hit next. You can put your title, subtitle, composer, arranger, lyricist, copyright, whatever other information you need to here, and you're starting to be ready to go. Alright, so now we have another menu to go through. We're going to select our time signature. We're going to select our starting key signature, which in this case will be B flat major. If I wanted to specify an opening tempo, I could do that. If I wanted to specify a pickup measure, I could do that. This excerpt will be 4 measures long, but don't worry, if you want it to be longer and you select 4 measures and you want it to be 8, you can add them later. And then we just go on, and then it's going to lay out all of our pages and parts and everything ready to go, and you'll notice that everything fits on one page. If you don't want to have to mess with formatting the page, you don't have to. So in this case, we're going to use some simple entry, some speedy entry to get our basic melody in here. I'll zoom in so you can see it a little bit better, and we'll put in the Mary Had a Little Lamb melody. And what I'm going to be able to do then is just copy and paste right from one part to the next, and the transposition will happen. The range will be adjusted, in most cases automatically, and so we don't really have to worry about it too much. We'll use our mask mover tool, the little arrow, and we'll highlight all of our systems, or all of our measures that we want, and hit Control C, and then Control V to paste it. Now if that's too high, we can come back. I'll put it in the alto part. That's definitely too high, but just by hitting 8 on the keyboard, it will automatically transpose it down an octave. That's a preset meta tool, and if I hit 9, it'll go up an octave. Hit 9 again, it's up another octave, way too high. Back down to 8 with 8, and you can see that. Put it in bari sax, too high for bari sax. Hit 8, down an octave. Put it in tenor, that's fine. Bass clarinet, way too high, so I'll press 8, move down an octave. Bassoon, too high for my bassoon player, down an octave. Oboe's fine. Trumpet, you'll notice that it put it in at a more reasonable octave. Horn, pretty good. So it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be pretty close each time. Now, as we scroll down here, typically I would be putting in a timpani part. I'd have to write that because it's not going to be the same as the melody. But in this case, I'm just going to put a mallet part in here. And if that was xylophone, that was okay. If I wanted it to be bells, I'd have to transpose it down an octave, depending on what range my kids started on. But then if we zoom out, you can see that your page is laid out for the score, ready to go. You could print this right now and have a score that is all set up if you didn't need to change anything. What if, though, I goofed up and I need to change what an instrument is? Well, the most important friend you can have is the score manager. So you're going to go over to Window, and you're going to open up your score manager. You can also hit Command K if you're using a Mac, and you're going to see everything. If you're on your instrument list here, you're going to see all the instruments you have in your score. In this very first column, you just select a different instrument. Instead of bass clarinet, I don't have a bass clarinet in this ensemble, I just need another clarinet part. Hit B flat clarinet, and you can see over there on the left that it changed the bass clarinet into a second clarinet part. It automatically numbered it, it changed everything, and it'll change it in the part too. It's all done. So if maybe you wrote for treble clef baritone, you need to change it to bass clef baritone or vice versa, or something else, it'll do everything automatically. If you had done this outside of Score Manager, you would have to go through and change key signatures, transpositions, blah, 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 blah. But now I look at my parts, and the flute part laid out, ready to go. You'll notice that the oboe part here is fine, same thing, that it's still listing that second part as bass clarinet, but on the actual page it says clarinet 2. If you go up to manage parts, generate parts, it'll make all new parts based on that change, and you're good to go. Hopefully you found that helpful and useful, and you'll use Setup Wizard. As our channel develops, we'll continue to add more detailed videos. If you have any questions, please make sure you comment below, and we'll try to get some more videos posted soon. Thanks!